Hey everyone, we are back with Jeremy today. We're going to be talking about running businesses in Cambodia.
Okay.
So if this is something you're interested to think about, whether you want to come here and start a new business or you're planning to expand your business from Singapore into Cambodia, I had some chats with Jeremy yesterday and I think he will have something really interesting to share with everybody. Earlier in a different conversation, we spoke about you coming into Cambodia, and the first thing you did was obviously representing a real estate company. You came into Cambodia to sell properties
Yes.
to foreigners mostly.
Correct.
So after that season of your life, what other businesses have you decided to move on to?
Basically, for Cambodia itself, is really undermarketed. There are many uncovered gems in here. Let's say, example, agriculture itself. They have rice that is it's much more delicious, yummy than I would personally feel is much more yummy than Thai fragrant rice. Secondly, they have cashew nuts, sapodilla, nuts, rubble, a lot of untapped resources. Wherever you grow in Cambodia, most of the land is will spoil. Even the in Phnom City, it used to be a paddy field in quite a fair bit of places, even near to the airport that side. So there are many things that is for us to uncover. There's also marble. When you talk about marble, what is the country in our mind is Italian marble or China marble. In Cambodia, they do have marble as well, Marble Mountain. So let's come and uncover more gemstones in this kingdom.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the interesting part that you mentioned, right? In Cambodia, according to statistics, more than 1/3 of people who are employed in Cambodia are in agriculture.
Yes.
And slightly more than 1/3 is also in services.
Services, yes.
25% plus minus is in industries.
Yes.
So that's probably where the marble market
Yes.
is, right? I also heard a lot about cashew nuts in Cambodia.
Yes, very
And
yummy.
I think what's also very well known is pepper.
Pepper, yes.
From Kampot.
Kampot, yeah.
It's very popular. When we talk about undervalue, I think it's a branding thing, right? People, like when you talk about rice, it can be very nice, but people do not, they recognize like rice grow from Thailand,
Yes.
but they don't always think about other countries like
Correct.
Cambodia. When you talk about the opportunities that you're thinking of, right? You're saying that there's opportunities to come here to export this kind of agriculture produce from Cambodia into their own country.
Yeah, to
Or
any
into
part of the world.
Any
itself.
part of the world.
Yes.
And sell. And the price here is still relatively low.
Yes.
And then there's a decent margin that one can get.
Correct.
In all this trade export.
Yeah.
And it's a very traditional kind of business.
Yes.
It's not like Singapore where people want to focus on asset-light business and services kind of business.
Yeah.
Whereas here, traditional businesses are still very strong.
Yeah.
And something that people can work on. Like if you want to be a farmer, you can come here and be a farmer.
Yeah.
You can buy a piece of land and you can grow
can be a
some
farmer,
stuff.
yeah.
And also the GDP is quite strong. So Singapore's GDP is around 2 to 3%.
Yes.
Generally. But Cambodia, I think, is pretty decent. From what I read, this year, they are forecasted around 5.8%.
To almost 6 soon.
Yeah, and then and that's up from 5.6 last year. And it's also projected upwards. 2025, 6.1%. 2026 is 6.4%. So it's on a nice growth trajectory.
Correct.
Not aggressive growth, but probably also contributed based on the fact I mentioned that maybe the Cambodia brand is still not very strong.
Yes.
And people don't consider certain produce and products that's being
Correct.
made here.
Yes.
So if someone wants to run businesses, what kind of industries or sectors do you think is very promising for people to consider?
Where we came from Singapore, there are a few things that I always think about is marketing and sales. And also like teach them the technical know-how, example, like management kind of thing, because they do not know, most of them still learning from the peers or learning from the foreigners for that matter. How do we manage a team, manage a company for that? So they are actually hungry for education, hungry for people to teach them the right things.
So it's both hard skills and soft skills.
Yes.
So like you mean like setting up training centers?
Training centers will be a very good thing, even not only for toddlers or even kids or infants, even adults learning.
There's a decent market that Cambodians are willing to
Yes,
pay.
correct. They're willing
okay.
to learn through someone or organization that is reputed, and of course with certificates, they will showcase that I'm not only certificate of attendance, like something that.
And as for you running a business here, what do you think about the local Cambodians when you talk about hiring employees?
Frankly speaking, patience is the key. Yeah, well, of course, because back to where I'm from, like in Singapore, we are fast paced. Like it's like snap a finger, okay, do this, do that. Like even the probation period, your superiors or supervisors or managers will expect certain criteria as from a candidate as well. In here, it's like, okay, yeah, boss, today I try my best. Okay. So, of course, this kind of thing, we need to inculcate the sense of responsibility and belonging, and make sure that they know that time is also a very important factor. We cannot like take our own sweet time to accomplish a certain task, because our competitors are way ahead now. They're running to get the money or to get the business done.
So it sounds like there's a lot of hand holding.
Yes, correct. So of course, having said that, I hope by large we can come and work together, and we'll pass on the technical skill set or the technical know-how to the next generation in Cambodia.
Actually, we were discussing a funny hack that maybe we can do in Singapore, where we go back to Singapore, we make use of the SkillsFuture's credit to learn some of the
Correct.
knowledge and information. Like you talked about like security.
Correct.
We could go back and learn and use our SkillsFuture credit, learn about how to be a security guard, how to manage security in, let's say, a condominium.
Correct.
And in Singapore, if you do that, typically you're going to apply for a job as a security guard.
Yeah.
But realistically, you could take everything you have learned, including even all the notes and everything, bring to Cambodia, and essentially formulate a business that manages security in Cambodia and make use of all the SOPs. Right? It's not just in Singapore. We can think of taking the SkillsFuture credit for a job, but here you're actually taking all that knowledge into a country that may not be ready today for that knowledge, but eventually when they are, this knowledge can serve as the framework to actually start a business.
Yes, correct.
The first business you're in is in property management, right? It's an expansion of serving your existing real estate clients.
Yes.
Okay, so that's the first business that you actually did.
Yeah.
What do you think is the biggest hurdle that you have faced when you were working on your first business here?
Of course, language is a barrier. In any new countries that don't speak English as a primary language, or even Chinese as well. In terms of getting the right information across to the intended parties, sometimes even a translator might not be sufficient enough. You have to really write down on point form or on a book or even a whiteboard itself. After you talk, you point to point form and tell them, oh, this is what I mean. Because some might say yes, 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 but after that, finish the meeting, they forgot or they do not understand what you're talking about.
So a lot of things need to be written down.
Yes, written down.
Spoken.
Because sometimes it's like they learn English, they can read and write, even can respond, reply to your email. But in terms of conversation, maybe we talk too fast in Singapore.
They may not understand.
They may not understand the pace that we are going to. But of course, if you slow down the pace, then they will ask you, big brother, please slow down. Then I will catch it and I'll write it down or what. Then I will just preempt them, prompt them. You understand what I'm talking about? Or do I need to be slower, even slower? I will just ask them, because every individual is different. It's not a one size fits all kind of thing.
Hiring is a challenge.
Yes.
In sieving out the good workers from the average workers, right? So, and also it's very hard to retain them, because what's the average salary for when you hire a new staff in Cambodia nowadays?
Nowadays, I would say around 300 to 400 fresh grad.
So 300 to 400 USD for fresh grad.
Yeah.
is the average salary. And realistically, if anyone is setting up a new business here and you just want to poach an employee, offering them $30 USD more per month, which is 10%, that isn't really a lot in a dollar figure
Correct.
amount. If you're just retaining your employee just based on money, it's very hard because people can just easily offer 10-20% more. And realistically, it's not a big amount.
Yes, precisely.
So you also talk about the idea of building the sense of belonging, and also giving them some equity.
So very important. I mean, it's your own business. Let's example, I first time in unknown territory. Let's example in Russia, for the matter, or even some parts of the world, or even Africa. So of course, I need to be able to adapt to the locals and hire locals in time to come. Of course, the supervisors on the managers level had to be from either from anywhere in the world who is much able to do that particular task and transfer the task to the locals in time to come. And of course, if you put in an equity or shares inside like profit sharing kind of thing, they will be more motivated to help your business grow. Because let's put this way, if you just think that, that means I pay you X number of dollars, example, average is about, just now we mentioned, $300 to $500. Okay, I pay you $500. But what happens if the big boys come? All right, you cannot fight with them the money. They pay them $800 or even $1,000 for that matter a month. Are you going to up the ante? No. So ultimately, is you cannot fight with them with the money. You just have to use your heart, our heart, to tell them, hey, look here, I'm trying my best to help you. But ultimately, it's in return. It's two-way relationship. In business, also same. I hope they will understand why we are doing this.
When you set up a new business here,
Yeah.
is a foreigner actually allowed to hold 100%?
Yes, the whole 100%, no problem.
So it's not like some countries in Asia where maybe
49-51 rule or 51-49 rule.
Thailand.
Even Malaysia as well, I think.
Okay, so in here, 100% for ownership, no problem. Let's say if you give equity to your staff, how much do you give?
Of course, the probation period, we also will tell this person is good or bad, or is
let's say you gone through the whole thing and you know that this person is a good worker, also very suitable for probably say eventually a leadership position, or become a manager to manage a team, right? and you want to give him equity to keep him. How do you decide the amount to give?
I will give him like a year kind of thing to see is he competent on the job as being assigned. Like probably we can a tiering up, staggered counting, like every 6 months to a year, maybe a 3% or 5% example. It might not be one size fit all again. So so basically it depends on, okay, you do long term or what. Of course, ultimately when it becomes a big company from SME to medium size, they will say, oh, I make money already. Can I buy more shares? Oh, yeah, welcome. You can think about this in time to come. So you, as a entrepreneur by myself, we have to think big plans for them as well. Because I do not want to create another competitor from them. So instead of create another competitor, which I train all my kung fu to them, then why not we join together? We make money together. So it's like win-win for all of us in a way. Yeah.
Realistically, you will want to hold at least the controlling stake.
Yeah, of course. Until the day I feel that, oh, okay, this person able to take hold the leadership or even the captain role to steer the ship of the company into the right direction. Yeah, why not? Then it becomes like mentorship already behind the scenes. Of course, we just
so
hold
like
a few
a
shares.
successor. Then you'll be like a minister mentor.
Yeah, in a way, so called.
And also, it's purely because in Cambodia, you mentioned before, you feel that the opportunities are there, and therefore you won't necessarily say start one business and stop there.
No, of course not.
You also talked about opportunities like fish-related businesses with overseas, right?
Correct.
Is it something you can share?
Okay, sure. Okay. Basically, one of my Taiwan clients came over like a couple of months back. So they're looking for red or black tilapia belly.
Fish
So
belly.
fish belly. So for fish belly, they normally will cut and throw away to the bin.
In
Normally,
Cambodia.
yeah, in
We don't
Cambodia.
eat that. You don't eat
Yeah,
that.
we don't. They don't eat that. They only eat the fillet part. So what they do is like, especially the Japanese farm, they cut the fillet, then they package it in a point of like 500 grams to a kilo in a packaging. Then they freeze it. Then they will send to the Japanese restaurants or Korean restaurants in Pen City because they are in probably in Kanda province. So it's a bit far, about an hour or 2 hour drive. So they freeze it, and but the belly part is being thrown to the bin. For my customer, they actually want to purchase the belly and to becomes a processed food in time to come in Taiwan. So there's a need, I would say.
So
Taiwan.
there's still quite a lot of logistics then.
There still need a lot of logistic
But it
planning.
does expose the fact that in Cambodia there are really just a lot of opportunities
Yes.
that one needs to uncover.
Correct.
Because what the Cambodians may not want or may not be able to do very well in today may be something that they could improve on, or something that they don't want could actually be something that other people are willing to pay for in a different country.
Yes, correct.
Those are stuff that just needs to be uncovered, and then work with different parties to get them all together, maybe change some processes here and there so that instead of discarding it to a bin, it will be cleanly
Yeah,
processed and
process,
packaged for storage and then
storage, yes.
transport, right?
Right.
So there are obviously things that need to happen, but it does mean that there are just opportunities to do lah. And obviously the Taiwanese is here because it's
To see
cheaper.
the cheaper and
than-
also because there are shortage of stocks in Taiwan as well.
So you mentioned there's like marble business is an
Yeah.
opportunity as well.
Correct.
And there's a lot more that one can probably find in Cambodia. Some of our audience, right, when we're telling them that we're running a podcast video that talks about businesses in Cambodia, they also were asking like, how easy is it in terms of finance in Cambodia? Is it difficult to bring money in and out of Cambodia? What is it like?
Okay. Money transferring to here is pretty easy. I think even yourself also have set up an ABA account for that matter. So what I normally will do is I will advise to set up account in Cambodia. So you can use a DBS bank. Everyone knows what is DBS bank in Singapore, or UOB bank. Because DBS is charging, the rates is lower than a UOB bank. It's probably $30 per
So
transaction.
normal remittance.
Yeah, remittance kind of thing.
And then out also the same.
Same thing. You can back to a Singapore account or anywhere in the world if you are a foreigner. Yeah.
Okay. No other costs and taxes that we should be worried
In
about,
terms of, I mean, VAT, of course, you have to pay the VAT, the 10%. Of course, you are setting up companies. Of course, there's a 20% tax for the company registration or whatever per year.
Let's dive into the cost of operating businesses. To set up a company in Cambodia, what is the process and cost like?
Basically, setting up, they need to pay certain fees like patent tax, the VATs, and all the MOCs also, Ministry of Commerce. So all in all, of course, when you go to these ministries, I would not recommend that person or individual or the companies to do it without a Cambodian to follow you. Because all in the ministries all speak Khmer, mostly. But of course they can speak English. But in terms of easy way, I will appoint an agent to help me to solve every single thing. It's about maybe 2,000 to 3,000 USD to set up a company within a month. Yeah.
Okay, so duration 1 month is
1
enough.
month, yeah.
And I also recall paperwork is always usually in Khmer.
Yeah, all in Khmer.
So it means that having a local agent
will be
it's
better.
a better way than you
It's
try
better
to.
than, yes.
You can't
Yeah.
Google Translate every single
Because
document.
You Google Translate some of the translation, it will be off thing, and it could be not able to cite.
So come in with 2,000 USD and just set a time frame of 1 month
yeah,
plus.
estimated plus minus, yeah.
Cool. You have started different types of businesses in Cambodia. Is there any particular key lessons that you have learned in this whole journey that you want to share with us?
First and foremost, of course, we need to, as a Singaporean, because normally we will find that we are atas. We need to put the atas, the egoistic, back to our own country. We need to be humble in humility, learn from the locals. Be it anywhere you go, whether in Cambodia, for the matter, you go to Thailand or Vietnam, or even like in Europe or even Russia, you need to learn from the locals. Because even though you are experienced businessman for 20 or 30 years, so there are some things, the blind spots, or even some things that you never even think of that might do or kill the opportunity in time.
And that is very typical in most developing
Yes,
countries.
correct.
Right? But the reality is when you're not in Singapore, just don't assume that the Singaporean way will work.
No way. You cannot apply the whatever stigma, the thinking to here. If I do that, I'm the first one to die. Because 10 years, how do I survive in Cambodia? Who doesn't speak English or Chinese back then? Yeah.
We covered quite a bit of things. I would think that if someone wants to start a new business, we've talked about quite a few ideas and concepts that they could consider. And also some of the mistakes that they should avoid.
Yes.
Do you have any tips for someone, let's say, if they run a business here, any specific factors that they should take note of, right, to, on a higher chance, right, to stay profitable? Like any particular cost that they need to manage really well?
Depends on what kind of business. Let's say example, just in general, coffee business.
Yep.
So the name is ABC company that comes into Cambodia, want to market that coffee brand. Okay. So of course, having said that, you are fighting with the big boys as well. So a lot of marketing, a lot of promotion, train the staff to do the way you feel, not the way you feel is nice to yourself. You need to be generalize the local market as well. That's the local market is find it yummy or delicious. That's because as a whole, street food coffee is about pricing about $1 to $1.50. Okay. Of course, Starbucks is about $3+ to $4. Those kind of brands.
Yep.
But if you think that mine is Singapore brand, or from USA, blah. Yeah, okay, I understand. But that's it. Really, locals might not like it.
Okay.
That's like we Singapore, we say bak chor mee. We put it bak chor mee, $4, $5.
Yep.
To us, okay, not too bad. But to local, expensive. I try, but it might not suit the taste of the Cambodians.
So it could cost a business a lot if they fail to localize
yes,
their products and services to suit the market
yes.
here. I think we talk about curry a lot because we were talking about food. And
we love food. Yeah.
if we bring Singapore curry, or rather maybe Indian curry or Japanese curry into Cambodia, it doesn't work.
Not say it doesn't work.
Taste...
Okay. Indian curry, they have flavors of India. You can Google it. They're actually more acceptable in terms of. I'll be surprised to foreigners or even to Khmer. Yes, some because depends on the taste bud. Not all Khmers will love spicy curry. Okay, even the tom yum soup for that matter is sweet. Not like Thailand curry, tom yum is like really spicy kind of thing. Just a taste, wow, it's like too so spicy for me. So for here, I'm okay. I'm okay to like the tom yum curry. So even talking about the Indian curry itself, like wow, depends on the individual. So basically, just like all of my friends who set up a store selling curry chicken in near to Naga that side. I can bring you later to go and taste it. So sometimes it's like they put it too much spice. I feel too spicy. But to them, most of the Singaporeans say, okay, I'm okay.
Yeah.
So,
but the local people here may not
like it. The price is $4. The curry chicken with a rice. Okay, to me it's okay. I mean, say fairly priced. I would say fairly priced. So, but to Cambodians, it's a bit on the high side. Because we know the...
I mean, if you make $500 USD a month and you tell me I need to pay $4 to $5 for one meal, it's challenging.
It's challenging, yes. because it's only one meal. Don't forget, how about my family meal?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's chicken and egg thing again. So which one comes first? So of course, if you want to just market to target foreigners like Singaporeans and Malaysians who are staying here, who are residing here, yeah, by all means go ahead. But if you want to the masses, yeah, you need to really think deeply, a lot of thought process, a lot of study, feasibility study, make sure that ask them to try out. Then if they say okay, yeah, why not? You just like the pricing, you have to think about the pricing. But of course, there are coffees whereby at $3.50 in Starbucks or even coffee club, you can see Cambodians are also sitting there. So what kind of target audience are we talking about? The mass market, the middle tier, mid income, or the niche one? That means money is not an issue.
So closing thoughts
Yeah.
for people who want to set up shop and run a business here. If you could only give one advice based on what you have learned so far in so many years, right? What is the one advice you would give?
Always the same case. Be humble.
Okay.
Even though if you are to those CEOs or MDs who want to come here, yeah, you might think Singapore is your playground, but it comes to this unknown territory, or just be humble. Learn. I'm also learning. There's a Chinese saying, 活到老学到老. We are learning every step of our way. I'm learning from the young generation. Yeah. Learn from them the culture, the language, the diversified thinking. I also learn from them, oh, what do you likes and dislikes? Like grow deep inside and understand what do they really want in life, their dreams and their goals. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Anything we'll catch up. Just leave your thoughts in the comments below.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank
Cheers.
you.